Hey, what's going on, guys? Tim here. Just wanted to make a video to give you a couple tips for some of you who are going to probably be making some things in the next couple weeks here for the holiday season. I'm actually in the midst of making an arm guard for somebody and a set of coasters. And I got to thinking about some of the things that I really wish I would have heard early on, and there's like countless little bits of advice, but here's a couple that I just popped into my head while I was doing some tooling here. So number one here is really do your research on the leather that you get. Now this is easy to say, particularly to people who can afford it, but try to get top quality leather. Talking your Wicked and Craig or Herman Oak. I personally use Herman Oak because it's easier for me to get through Amazon and eBay and stuff. But Wicked and Craig is also good. And I mean, you can get good quality. I've gotten good quality pieces of, double shoulders, single shoulders from Tandy Leather. But if you buy like their Craftsman or their, oak leaf, it's really hard to get the same type of hide. Like I've gotten even some of the European bend stuff, which is great for, if you're doing, simple projects with not a lot of tooling on it. They stamp well as long as you case it, but sometimes you get hides that are so tight, it's really hard to get the swivel knife work right, and it's just worth looking into getting like the Herman Oak, because it's going to cut right every time. I mean, you can even smell the difference between. So this is Herman Oak here in this arm guard, and I don't know if it's picking up the difference in color here. And this is, I believe, I want to say the European bend. It's a little thicker. I think this is about a 7 to 8 ounce, and this is about a 6, 7. But the way that these cut, even when cased, is way different. This is super hard. Your fingers tire out. I mean, this leather is awesome. Very high quality leather. It's just a little bit difficult to do your knife work on something like this. It takes a lot more pressure, even with a super sharp knife. And that's another thing. Make sure that you have a tri-stone and really know how to sharpen your blade, because for the first couple of years I was just doing the strop and thinking like, man, this is really tiring my fingers out. I feel like I can't cut the leather even with good quality stuff. And then I got the Tri-Stone, and it was hard for me at first because I have a couple Barry King blades, and I'm like, I don't want to fuck them up. But, I really took my time and sharpened them from the highest to the smallest grit, and then did the stropping, and it's made a huge difference. Takes a little bit of effort, but it's definitely worth it. So another thing, when you're doing any type of tooling, please make sure that you cover the back of your project in tape, because what happens when this prevents your shape from widening and distorting. It will a little bit, but with the tape on here, it's going to prevent it big time. This is super helpful when you're doing something for like a knife sheath. If someone's you're building a knife sheath for somebody, and all of a sudden it doesn't fit right, it's a little bit loose, it's probably because you did a lot of tooling and your shape was expanded. Let's see, the last thing that kind of popped into my head is to when you're doing edge beveling, kind of have a system that you go with to open up your cuts and then work. I always use my molding spoon here. This is one I picked up at like a craft store. It's the best one. I've gotten the ones from Tandy. Those ones kind of suck. The rubber grip always slips on them. This is the best one that I've gotten so far. And I've had a couple. But, you know, after doing the knife work and letting it sit, you know, I always go back in and I am, you know, opening up all these lines here so that when I go through with my beveler, there's a space for me to get in there. Because what often happens if it's closed up from sitting overnight, you know, you can end up beveling part of the piece that you don't want to. And like here, see this? See how this is all closed up? If you dampen this real quick, and you don't even really need to dampen it, but you could see if I go back in here, open this up a little bit. This is all dried out. This line right here, I don't know if it's going to pick it up or not, but it does open it up a little bit more. But make sure you damp it first, because you know, when it's super dry like this, it's pretty much going to stay like this, and you're not going to want to start using your edge beveler anyways when your piece is completely dry, because it's not going to work. Also, not too wet, as many of you know. So there are a couple tips on that, and hopefully you're enjoying these videos. I enjoy making them, and if anybody ever has any like requests about artwork or any type of suggestions that you have for me, let me know. Definitely open up to it. But yeah, so there are the two things I'm working on. This is the arm guard. That's you know, if you watch my other video, I'm trying to, you know, kind of come up with my own hybrid Sheridan style, you know, with the whole serpent I can't, my mind's blanking, motif, whatever you want to say. You know, instead of, for me, this is kind of stupid, but like, I'm like, why was there such a style developed where it's so floral? You know, like what, I know it looks beautiful, but like how many guys, you know, are like, oh sweet, check out all these flowers on my holster or my saddle or my knife sheath or arm guard or whatever. And I guess my purpose for incorporating the serpent, you know, is to bring some masculinity into the Sheridan style. But that's another conversation. Anyhow, this has been Tim. Happy holidays, everybody, and embrace your creativity. Peace.